Morning watchers, Scott from SE Landscaping. Anybody who's surviving this current hot weather spell we haven't, congratulations to you, because it is tough work at the moment. And if this is part of climate change and what's to come over the next few years, I think I might be in the wrong trade. Because this week, well, last week and this week is just so tough to do anything. So what I want to talk about is, there's no machinery reviews on this. It's just a bit of a chat while I'm driving to one of my sites. And events are back on. BTME is on this week. I would have liked to have got to that, but I've opted for Sage next week. In the end, I had to opt for one of the two, the way workload is. It would have been nice to get to both. So I should be going there. If anybody else is going to Sage, if you comment below, and we can, I'm sure we can meet up at some point next week, which would be good. But following on from the last video, where I was on a commercial site and I was explaining what we do, and there was lots of questions from people asking how I price commercial and stuff like that. Basically, a lot of the time the site will have this prehistoric piece of paper that they've had since the site opened, and it'll basically be 14 cuts or 33 cuts. 14 cuts bare minimum on a fortnightly visit. They want the grass cut, very little else in it. On sites like that, when I price it, like I say, I price it, and when you get onto the site, you always price on the side of caution, so that when you get on the site and when you finally get on top of how you want it to look for the bare minimum, that's when the extras can come in. So on that site you saw last week, priced to 2 hours per visit. You can be done in sort of an hour and a half. So rather than disappear on the next job, I had a bit of value. And yes, you're losing out, because they could come to you twice a year and say, can you re-kill these car parks and things, but I'm doing it already, so that you can explain to them when you see the facilities manager, oh, we're doing the grass, but I've sprayed the car parks for you and stuff. So when it's due for tender, they probably look at it and think, well, he's already doing them things and they're going to cost us extra. Tell you what, we'll just send him a purchase order number and renew his contract. And that's just not me guessing, that's experience. And that's how you build relationships with people, and that's how you just keep getting jobs back and keep getting a purchase order number every day. Coming to the other side, where people are a bit blind to the trade and they ask you for the advice, what I'll do, I'll say, right, I'll come visit your site, show me around it, make a lot of notes, go away and come up with three different options, sort of packages. So the first package is an amazing package, where everything's included, and you're doing 33 visits. So you cut the grass every week, you weed kill them once a month, you're trimming the shrubs as you go through the site. Each time you go, you're trimming one shrub area, so the whole site always looks tidy, and that comes at a high premium. The next package you put together is a decent package, where you're not doing as much hedge cutting and weed killing, and the grass is sort of fortnightly boxed off or left on the surface. And that could be sort of something like maybe 18 visits. And then you've got what I call the basic package, which is the bare minimum, which is 14 visits. Any less than 14 visits, if people want me to go once a month and cut the grass and things, I tend to steer away from them jobs, because you can never have it looking good, and if somebody's watching you, they think that you're bad because that's the spec you're working to. So that could be a potential client parked up thinking, we're not going to employ him. Look at the state he's left the site in, and look how long the grass was before he came back. So like I say, the third package, the basic package, is fortnightly maintenance, and then that's when you try to get a little bit of time to do these additions. And that's basically the three things. Pricing wise, everything's different, because like I say, I try to tie sites up. If I know I've got 3 or 4 sites together with 5 minutes travel time between each, I know that I don't have to factor sort of travel time into them jobs and things like that. So whereas if you're travelling half an hour to the next job, you know you've got to get that half an hour back somewhere, and that fuel that you're travelling with, you've got to get it back. And the only way to get that back is to put it on the next client and then if you're travelling another half an hour, you've got to put that on the next client, and so on and so on. And that's how these sites work out. You've got to allow for the travel and all the other costs that come with running a business. So there's no great formula. You factor everything into when you start your business. What I do is I'll come up with the whole list: insurance, fuel. I pretty much know what I'll use in a year. I always err on the side of the worst case, which is £1.40 a litre. But when it was down to £1 a litre last year and everybody was at home, we were making a lot more money than we were now, because it's gone back up to £1.30. So I always factor on the worst it's ever been, which is £1.40 up here. You don't expect it to get much worse than that. And then all your other costs, you've got your staff, you've got your taxes, you've got everything else on top. So you take every cost possible, even down to we get our bin emptied every fortnight at the unit. We've got a big 1500 litre bin which costs to get rid of. So everything like that is factored in, and you come up with a figure, and then you can pretty much split it up with how many men you've got and everything, and work out what you need from them men to make you a healthy profit. And that's what it's all about, getting all them figures at the start of the year. And yes, if your jobs increase over the year, then yes, your fuel might increase and other things increase, but you can re-look at that every 3 months, and you can say, right, I'm going to have another look at this. I've picked up an extra 15 jobs. I might need another man. I need to sit down and review the figures again and go through everything. As a lot of you guys know, I'm already in regular contact with a lot of people, helping them out. You could call it mentoring, so helping 1 or 2 people build their businesses who are new to the trade. Some people have experience, some don't, so help people out. And the good news is I'm getting some good feedback. Some people are picking up work, and obviously they're saying that without the advice they wouldn't have a clue where to start on these jobs. So it is that's quite pleasing for me that I'm actually helping somebody get into the trade and establish a business. But the final point I want to talk about today, and like I say, if anybody needs any help, just drop me a message. Quite happy to give my any advice out that I can help with on any sites or any price or anything like that. I'll do my best to help you. But the final point I want to talk about is, you may remember a few weeks ago that I was having a few staff issues with people who weren't doing as much as they should do. And I made the decision that this will be my last year in business, running around like crazy. And what I mean is I will be cutting back drastically this coming year, and going to a smaller team, and as well as what we discussed in previous videos about leaving people on their own and not getting what you'd expect and everything. One of the other problems I've got is the business was built around me, and when I went to a site, I arrived, people knew me, and they expected a certain amount of work, and they expected a certain quality, and they get used to that quality. So when you start sending other people the finishing touches, that when I've finished a job I walk around, and if I see something I'll do it. Other people are more strim and blow and gone, and they're not looking at them finishing touches. So if there's a few weeds in, if you strim and say a cemetery, and there's a bit of a rough area of gravel and we haven't got round to weed killing it, I'd knock the top off with a strimmer just so it's tidy. Other people it'll get left, and if I haven't been for 2 visits I'll go, and that grass will be a foot long. So that's sort of the finishing touches. So I'll be going back to where we'll all be going out in the same van 90% of the time, and basically I'll be managing the sites all the time. And worst case scenario, if I'm not on the site for 1 visit, it's not a big problem, but if I'm not on the site for 3 or 4 visits like at the moment, then it is a big problem, because things get missed. People sort of see you as a bit of a fixer. Everybody will be able to resonate with what I'm saying here who works on the road. People see you as a fixer, they expect your quality, and And it's the same on the sites when you see people saying, oh, I'm thinking of selling my ground care business. The first topic, the first advice I give them is people buy you. They don't buy someone else who's going to buy your business, who hasn't got a clue about the site, hasn't got a clue about the client. And someone pays £10,000 for that job, chances are after a year they've lost half them customers. You can't sell, it's not like a factory where you can sell a factory based on a CNC machine that punches out bits of steel. That machine will always punch out them bits of steel because the man's just pressing a button. This is it's a tricky business, and you're very lucky if you can sell it. Yes, these major large companies get bought out and swallowed up, but as for on the ground, as for small businesses like ours and one-man bands and things, it is very difficult to sell it. So that's my advice on it. Anything that I've discussed today that people would like to chat about or anything like that, like I say, just drop me a message and I shall give you my advice. And going forward, like I say, hopefully next year less stress and not worrying about what other people are doing or where other people are, because like I say, it does build up, it's pressure, and the staff don't realise the pressure you're under for them little things that could be missed. So that's the plan going forward, and hopefully it will be a happier, better business for it next year and still make some decent money with a bit of luck. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. Just a short one, and we will see you on the next one.